Okay, we are live. Sorry, a little bit late, guys. There is a lot of breaking news. So just trying to catch up with all of that. Nothing we haven't talked about before, but just a lot of things playing out right now. So I just want to open the chat a little bit. If anyone's on, good morning. There is no data yet, of course, because there is no race yet, of course. But I still, like I said, I wanted to hop on here a little bit early. But we have T-minus 10 minutes, and I stopped playing music in the chat. I think people got really annoyed, so I'll probably just go on mute for a little bit. But all I can really say about the stuff that's coming out with Ferrari is, in like the oil. We've talked about this before, and of course, a lot of it's been speculation. So, hey, Floyd, good morning. Yeah, so this, I'm even hesitant because some of these watch-alongs get quite a few views. I'm even hesitant to speculate. Also, if you're on, let me know. I think you can. It looks like the readings are fine on my volume, but let me know if you can hear me. Okay. But it sounds like the FIA is digging a little bit deeper, which is not surprising that they came out to like have this sort of a little bit stronger rhetoric, but that's all I really know for now, or at least that I can really talk about comfortably without feeling like I'm speculating. So I'll be looking into that pretty aggressively throughout the next like 4 minutes. So I will, if I get anything that's really concrete to give you guys a report outside of the typical stuff, I'll let you know. But go ahead and hop on the chat. Any questions, let me know. But yeah, so this data and the viewer, if you're on right now listening, you can actually click the link and go listen to or go watch it yourself too. I just kind of do this so you guys know where it's at, and also everyone can chat. But you can actually just pull this up if you want. There's going to be a slight lag in the actual on like talking about it from the YouTube side and showing it and you seeing it on YouTube. But if you go to the website, it's actually a little bit quicker than F1's platform. So the data will be updating fine. The cars will be moving fine. It'll just be about 15 seconds behind what I'm saying. But anyways, the race starts in exactly, let's see here, 8 minutes and 33 seconds. So I'll pop off for a little bit, just go on mute and just see what I can dig up about this Ferrari stuff. Other than that, let's go racing. Okay, we are counting down even closer. We are set to begin the provisional lap, or the warm-up lap. I'll give you an announcement on the grid as well. Keep them coming. The prediction, guys, it's awesome. So yeah, just looking into it, it's just open that the FAA has got an investigation on his fuel levels. A lot of people have. It's interesting. You've got Vettel, Blind Wolf. Just as a reminder, Valtteri will be starting P20. And what I'll do is I'll pop on for the 360 spin. What I'll do is I'll pop on for the first 1 to 2 laps, and I'll come on intermittently if you guys haven't checked this out to do before. What I'll do is I'll check in and I'll go through some of the onboards of specific drivers for a couple laps back to back. But for the most part, I don't want to be in your ear the entire time. And then if anyone wants a little bit more commentary, like, hey, what's happening in the midfield, like in Brazil, it was helpful to kind of go through that. Because obviously the race coverage is typically favored towards Hamilton and Ferrari. So I will do the first 2 laps. I'll pop in and out a couple laps every like 5 or 6, but the whole time I'll be chatting and giving you guys updates on mini sectors too. So we are set to begin, and I'll be right back. Yeah, that might be helpful. Let's go through tires. Hamilton, medium, P1, Verstappen, medium, Leclerc, medium, Sebastian Vettel's on softs, Albon's on mediums. You've got Norris, Ricciardo, Sainz, and Hulkenberg on softs. Sergio, Gasly, Lance Stroll, Kvyat, Magnussen, Grosjean, mediums. You got Giovinazzi is on softs, and then everyone else is on mediums. So Kimi Räikkönen, George Russell, Kubica, and Valtteri, all mediums. Will be really interesting to see how Valtteri drives without the blue. Him in P20, how he's going to fight through the field. I actually can't wait to see the Mercedes fight through without the blue flag. So we are starting the lap right now. So the data won't register until a full lap has gone through. One thing I think will be definitely interesting as well was I saw what I did see was Leclerc come out and say he's willing to take risks to get the points here today. So you guys know how I feel about that, especially with Leclerc. I think it'll be something to watch, and I think he's matured a lot over the year. But when he starts to fight for position and feels like he's out of place, I think that's when incidents occur, especially with him, with any driver. But I really do. I hope there's no contact anywhere on the first lap. Not just with Leclerc, I'm not picking on him, but when he says stuff like that, it makes me a little bit weird. It'd be like if Max said that, I'd be like, oh, okay, we should pay attention. Yeah, and Valtteri's got 2. He's got 2 new power units. Actually, he had actually swapped them out. So we are, and just to give you guys a heads up, so we've got Carlo. The big battle to watch is Lando out-qualified Carlos, but Carlos still fighting for P6. It's tied with Gasly, but Albon is the one whose average performance puts him in a position to actually step in and take that position out from under them. He's down, 15 points? I know Leclerc is down 11 points. There is a path. He's going to have to win the race and Max can't get P3, excluding a fastest lap point. All right, we are waiting for the last driver on the grid. And like I said, I won't actually talk through the first lap fully because you're going to hear it all at different timings depending on where you are in the world and your browser speed. So we're setting up to go. All right, and the data is live. Okay, wow. Yeah, that was an incidentless first lap, but a lot of things going on. Ferrari looks quick. I can't tell. I'm looking at the mini sectors right now. I'm trying to figure out if Max is just slow or if the Ferraris are that quick. So let me pull these mini sectors now for the next lap, and I'll give you guys the updates on the 7 to 8 mini sectors. Leclerc's got fastest time. Not a shocker. They look very, very fast. Okay, I'll give you the first sector times as Max comes through and a couple of the other drivers. Okay, Max seems to be getting, he's picking it up a little bit. He seems to be getting his tires to, I guess, under temperature. Maybe they just didn't get up to temperature well enough. Mind you, Vettel's on the softs. Leclerc took the medium strategy. It looks like there's no investigation across the board. That's good. Yeah, Valtteri is just cruising. I guess it's not surprising, but he's up to, I guess, officially P14. Wow. I don't know if anyone actually is watching his onboard. I might switch to Valtteri's onboard at this point. Yeah, I'm on Max's onboard because his pace is so weird. He's going hot and cold. Lewis just went 43.956 in Sector 2. Max just dropped to 44.236 Sector 2. So he's losing a lot of time in a couple of these spots. No, actually, that's Leclerc. Verstappen just went 44.070. So still in the 44s. Hamilton's picking up pace everywhere. He's just leaving them. Leclerc, the gap is now 4 seconds. This is going to turn into a proper fight behind Hamilton, but Hamilton's already 4 seconds clear and counting. Max is having trouble with his dash, it looks like. I'm listening to the radios, and he sounds a little bit I can't really figure out what his issue is, but it looks like it's telling him something that isn't correct, which obviously is not going to help him. Looks like he picked it up on Sector 3, but Leclerc just put in the fastest Sector 1. Hopefully I hope Leclerc can catch him. He's dropped down to 4.1 on the interval time, so he's just got to get that under 4. Let's look at Verstappen's Sector 2 time. It looks like he's struggling behind Leclerc's quick. I can't tell if Leclerc's that much quicker because he is just set a purple, but Max's 18.014 is not too impressive. Okay, here we go. So Verstappen's Sector 2 time is a 44.067. Okay, so it's pretty much in line with Hamilton's time. Hamilton just ran a 43.978 Sector 2. Okay, so it looks like we're identifying it to Sector 3. Verstappen struggling the most, which is going to be the trickiest. So I guess that makes a lot of sense. I'll keep you guys updated, but I wanted to pop in and see what was really going on. But he's struggling with his dash, it looks like, as I look at this on board. Really good battle about to start to really pick up between Ricardo Hulkenberg, Sergio, and with Valtteri just eating away into the gap up 9 places, now sitting P11. So we're on lap 8 currently, lap 8 of 55. We just got to watch the pit window. But yeah, this is Floyd, that's a good point. It really is going to come down to strategy. The good thing about Lewis kind of leaving everyone ahead is, and if he does check out, he can be disrupted pretty massively by someone going for a big undercut. So I wonder what's going to happen with Verstappen, knowing he's got these issues. Who's going to trigger this first? You guys can let me know in the chat. Who do you think's going to trigger this? But Hamilton just set the fastest Sector 3, of course. Verstappen is setting a lot of green times, 41.132 in that third sector, which is a little bit quicker than Alex Albon. But Alex Albon's interval is a 4.27. There we go. So Lando's already in the pits. Giovinazzi's also pitting. So let's see who else this kicks off. Another driver to watch right now as I look at his onboard is Kimi's having a hell of a race. So Kimi just put in a 145.471, some tire management, but he's +5. Yeah, so I agree, Floyd. I think the Red Bull will undercut. I bet you they're watching Norris's pace. Going into this race, it really was. I thought that Norris was going to be helping Carlos to maximize his points. I mean, Norris can still get inside the P10, but Carlos could win best of the rest. I wonder what Alex does now, because Alex is putting in pretty quick times. He's on mediums. Carlos is on softs, up 2 spots. This will be interesting. Normally I get this call wrong, but I could see, yeah, Floyd, you say the undercut. I could see Albon going for it. Max, I don't really know enough about what's wrong with his engine, but depending on what's going on, I really think that could also decide this, but we're about to find out. So looking at the sector times again, just checking in, Leclerc just set the fastest sector 1. So Leclerc he's just picking up more and more pace. The problem is he's getting left. There's no DRS still. I can't find what's going on. No one's really understands either, but this no DRS is really hurting everyone, especially Valtteri and Leclerc, even though Leclerc setting best sector times. So 5.6 seconds is the interval. Hulkenberg is under a second, obviously no DRS, so that's really going to hurt him. Valtteri is under a second to Sergio. So Valtteri's still up those 10 spots. And to P10, we're on lap 11 of 55. And just another heads up, a couple of the pits have occurred. So you've got who's put on hards. Who's got hards on right now is Kvyat's got hards on. Kubica, George Russell, and Gasly put on some hards. Okay, so Albon gets out behind Vettel. Which is, I'm not really, I'm trying to figure out what's going on and how that even happened. But Vettel just set the fastest sector one time. Strong outlap is probably the reason for that. It looks like, and if you're, welcome everyone, if you're just popping on, go ahead and send what you think's going to happen with the race. The data is in a link in the description below. It looks like it's a little janky on the stream. It's just because of the stream and YouTube's processor. But if you go to the actual link, it's really smooth. It's got the sector by sector timing live directly from the race, so it's quicker than it looks like the platform's updating. But back to the race itself, Vettel, like I said, just set the quickest sector 1 in his outlap. You've got Hamilton P1 still, Verstappen P2. After all the pits, Leclerc P3. Leclerc's got on the hards, mind you, so keep that in mind. There's no DRS. I don't know why. I'm trying to figure it out. I haven't heard from anyone, and if anyone hears anything, let me know. But I can't see anyone finding it, so they're not reporting why. But no DRS, which is murdering Valtteri, who could honestly be having even a better race, up 15 spots, but that's likely because of the pits. Hulk in P4, Valtteri P5. So Vettel and Albon are fighting P6, P7, both on hards. Another Ferrari sets fastest sector 1. This time it's Leclerc, so which is kind of scary. But he's on the hard tires, setting a 17 low, it looks like. 17 mid in sector 1. So the interval is a 9.6 to Hamilton. Unfortunately, guys, this looks like it's going to be a pretty boring one at the top, at least in P1. But I do think all the pits with the hard tires on, you got Leclerc who just switched. If he can hang on, and these hard tires are as good as they look. Remember, he ran some of these in the FP1. Leclerc's really quick on these. The Ferrari and Leclerc are really quick on these hards. So I think Leclerc might be in a really good position. And if you're new to the chat and you haven't been on here the whole time, just remember also Leclerc's under investigation. He reported a different fuel amount when he started the race, which I have no idea I don't think that's an error. It could be. I don't really know how you do that, but we're going to find out. So it's under investigation. So I won't be the guy that says FIA is out to protect Ferrari in this situation, but I guess we'll see as the details come out. I'll give you an update. Yeah, Floyd, their race it's the straight line speed looks really quick. I'm trying to catch a speed trap, but you're right. It's really the race pace looks strong and their ability to work on these compounds. For Leclerc in particular has looked really, really strong on softs the past 3, or on the hard tires the past 3 races. So in the back of the grid, Gasly is still in P20. He's chasing down a P19 Lance Stroll. The good thing about DRS is the intervals are staying pretty low, so you've got about a second between Russell, Giovinazzi, and then the same for Giovinazzi to Lance Stroll. It's actually at 1.8, closer to that, but that fight's pretty close. There are these little pockets that everyone's fighting pretty close, and it's Valtteri to Vettel is under a second, which DRS would make for an interesting battle. Alex Albon's under a second as well. So those 3, P5, P6, P7, is going to be a good one as the math works out. Albon's in a good position to actually take that position back in 6th. Carlos Sainz is going to have to do a lot of work. All right, I have the onboard of Vettel pulled up because I think this is actually going to be a really good battle with Vettel chasing down Valtteri. There's no DRS, so they're coming around the corner here. Vettel is taking, he's always got this onboard camera is always the really low camera, so he's taking a lot of curb. I know that's got him in trouble in practice, but it looks like on his onboard, actually, the DRS just popped up. Okay, so Vettel is closing quick. He's looking really good in these corners. All these DRS zones are now activated. Hey, Adrian. Thanks for showing up. It's a good race so far. We're on, let's see here. Oh, wow. Sorry about that. Yeah, Vettel is really closing up quick with this DRS now. So popping back over to the data screen, I'll give you guys the update. We're on lap 19 of 55. We are now looking like what's going to come down to a tire strategy. A lot of the drivers switching off the softs. Carlos Sainz has on the hard tires. Lando Norris has on the hard tires. Every single driver from P13 down to P20 chose to put on the hard tires. Lando Norris on Q overtakes Grosjean. He fights back and actually gets the position back. So Lando Norris moving up slowly. Lando Norris would actually set himself in the top 10 as a rookie with all of his reliability problems. That would be incredible for him. So if he can at least get 1 to 2 points, he will position himself nicely. Carlos Sainz really needs to do some work here to move up the field. I actually think he's going to do it, but he's got to get a move on. So, like I said, Carlos Sainz is on the hard tires, 5-lap fresh. Hülkenberg is one of the final drivers who haven't pit aside from Verstappen and Vettel at the top, though. Or Verstappen and Hamilton, I'm sorry. Valtteri hasn't pit as either. He's on the mediums. All three of those drivers are on the mediums. Okay, cool. So now I'm just waiting for the sector times of update. We've got Hamilton's just set a fastest sector 3, lap 20 of 55, 40.445 for Hamilton sector 3, which is just very, very quick. Watching Leclerc to see how he's doing on the hard compound. Sector 1, 17.835. For comparison, Verstappen sector 1 times 18.087. Yeah, so Floyd no pit, Hamilton no pit, Verstappen. So Hamilton is at 13 seconds clear, which is just, my goodness. He's already pulling away. The only thing that, and I just heard Lewis's onboard, he come back twice. Lewis is talking about the worry of a safety car and tire temperature on the hard. So yeah, he's kind of checked out at the top. The interval times that are still pretty close. You've got Sebastian Vettel chasing down Valtteri. He's about 2 seconds in dropping. Albon's under 2 seconds. So if Albon can overtake Vettel, I think that'll be a pretty good fight too. Under a second, you got Kvyat in P10 chasing down Kimi Räikkönen, who's having an incredible race. Yeah, so Kimi's technically up 8 spots. Wow. Hülkenberg is 0.912, so within DRS. Same with Carlos Sainz, and the battle for Ricciardo trying to make up that spot for the DRS too. So those 3 are entangled in a really good fight too. Still not to pit. Hamilton, Verstappen, Valtteri still has not pit, and then you've got Sergio has not pit, Magnussen and Kimi have not pit. And I don't know if you can see on that screen, like you can probably click that link, but the pit counter is on the far right. Okay, just giving you guys a heads up. Lap 27. Hamilton doesn't have the best of stops, but he throws on the hard tire. It looks like they're flirting with the safety car. It's obviously not out. There's some debris on a couple of those mid turns, 11 through 15. Doesn't look bad enough to get a safety car. Imagine if a couple teams complain, they might, but Verstappen, just checking his onboards, he had some issues. Verstappen drops to 43.628 in Sector 2. Leclerc is 43.993. So as much as he's saying he's got issues, his pace looks decent, but he could be feeling something in acceleration. Interestingly, for some reason, Lance Stroll puts on soft tires. But again, yeah, lap 28 of 55. Valtteri is just running quicker than ever. Just remember that Valtteri has a brand new power unit, so he's sitting on a lot of power. So that'll be fascinating to see, because I really don't see how he doesn't get P3 at this point, but we'll see how Leclerc's tires hold up. He pitted for the hard tires 15 laps ago, but still setting really good sector times. The fight is still really close between Carlos Sainz and Ricciardo in P11 and P12. It's under a second for both of them. Hulkenberg chasing down Norris just over 1 second. DRS is now active finally, of course, a few laps ago. Then the third tier of racing begins at about Grosjean, who's 15 seconds on his interval. And everyone behind him is lapped already, except Russell, who's moved up to 16th place, still has not been lapped. He's 2 seconds to Grosjean, and that would be really interesting if Russell can fight his way up to Grosjean and see them battle a little bit. Wow, wow, wow. I learned from the last race not to commentate over overtakes because it's delayed, but unbelievable overtake. Definitely going to put that on board on the website, potentially YouTube. But they, in case you guys missed it, there was a double slipstream. Leclerc was making work of who he was overtaking, and Verstappen just snuck down the middle and took them both. So Leclerc looked like he was trying to turn around and make the overtake. But sorry, Max is yelling in the ear, complaining while he just overtakes Leclerc. But Leclerc looks like he's struggling to come back. So he tried to come back immediately, couldn't make it. And it looks like he's trying to. It looks like Leclerc's trying to save up a little bit. I don't know if anyone's watching the broadcast. Maybe I'll pull up whoever's behind him. Is he doing any battery saving? Because it looks like he's struggling to make that gap. But an unbelievable overtake there. And then I'll give you guys an update on the tire life and the laps and all the intervals here in a lap. All right, guys, just popping on. If anyone is out there listening into the chats, you guys are keep going. That's awesome. The We are on lap 41 of lap 55. Lewis Hamilton's obviously still P1 on the hard tires. He's got a pretty big gap to Verstappen, who's P2, just about 15 seconds. Leclerc's pitted. He's on the soft tires for a couple laps. The battle's really going to be, can Valtteri catch him on his hard tires? Valtteri's got a interval time of 5 seconds. That's picked up from about the 4.5 he's had. It looks like Leclerc's pushing really hard in this stint, which is probably whatever plan 3 or whatever he was referencing was put on the softs and just melt them to the end. Valtteri's might still have that engine mode though. He's got a brand new Mercedes engine, so he'll probably turn that on here in about 3 laps. Alex Albon is fighting for his life to keep up with Valtteri, but he's going to have to go with him if Bottas goes after Leclerc. Vettel is comfortably in P6. So he's got 15 seconds to the driver in front of him, 28 seconds to the driver behind him. So Vettel is basically done for, barring any safety car. And the only other interval time that's even remotely close to being passable is Sergio is chasing down Carlos Sainz. So we've got 13 laps left, and I'll update you if anything major happens. But 13 laps, Leclerc's got on softs, making it to the end. Valtteri is just lying and waiting to turn on that mode, so he's dropped to 6 seconds. Okay, just popping on one last time before the end of the race. And obviously I'll say in the chat, we've got 49 of 55 lap we're on. This is like I wish they would just move to cover the midfield. Kvyat is hunting down pretty nicely the field on his relatively new tires. Sergio Perez is down to a second, going after Norris. I don't really see how he holds him off here, but Norris was just told to use all of his energy on his tires. He's in P7, Perez P8, Kvyat P9. Vettel is basically racing by himself in front of Perez. Alex Albon is pretty much in his own little zombie land as well. So with 6 laps left, Norris just over the radio gets all of the power. So that's basically the midfield, really important update. You've got Carlos Sainz as well, 6 seconds interval gap to the points on Hulkenberg. It looks like he's turning on a little bit, but he went from 6 seconds, I just said, he's down to 5.5, and it's steadily dropping. So let's watch that for P11. Let's watch the fight for P7 and P8. But yeah, the midfield, it's going to be a really good last 5 laps. Okay. Let me pull this closer. Okay, for everyone on, I'm going to keep it on for a little bit longer. It looks like he's going directly to the stewards. The directive in question, we're talking about Charles Leclerc, is talking about 1219. And and what I think, from my understanding of the technical directive that could be and the violation imposed is this could have some implication on the actual race results. But in knowing the FIA, they may end up taking some time on this. So I'm just going to wait a little bit and see if anything comes out. But for now, it looks like he's going straight up to see what happens. But it potentially could happen right now. And they've had all race to investigate. So I'm just going to wait and see if anything pops out.